Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching this, it is late in the AM. We are close to the heels to Jesus hour, but we're not there right now. This is the put your kids to bed hour in some parts. And so if you're here, you're about to watch a dope special edition of our WWT watch alongs. We are going to be covering Mr. McMahon, the Netflix docu-series. But first, we always got to give y'all the great intros because they phenomenal. So why wouldn't you want to see it?
Howdy, folks. This is Willow Nightingale, and you are watching Women's Wrestling Talk.
I would love to wrestle with 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you're joining us, it is the nighttime. This is a little different. We're not. We're sometimes very rah. We get off the rails on the afternoon, but this is the evening tip. This is when you got the over big shirt on. This is when you got your popcorn ready. This is when you got your snacks. And we still may go a little bit off the rails because we are watching the Mr. McMahon documentary on Netflix. We are starting with the first episode, and then we are going to be continuing that tomorrow, watching the remaining episodes as well. But I'm not here by myself, of course. I have two wonderful individuals joining me tonight. Now they've seen it already, so they are prepared for what's coming. I, on the other hand, am not. And I think they just wanted to catch my reactions to when I see this shit just so they could laugh. Because apparently this is some very mind-altering documentary, according to them and a whole bunch of other people. But enough about that. Let's get them up here so we can all talk about it. Of course, we got the PR princess. Anything you want to know about AEW, you need to go to the Courtopedia and find out about it because she'll make you want to watch AEW. Miss Courtney Rice is in the building. How are you doing this evening, Courtney?
Hello, I am doing good, and I'm ready to watch this documentary, episode 1.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And now we got the workhorse of WWT. She has been running the marathon since 3:00 Pacific Standard Time, and she is going back to back. All right, WWT Live, Honey Night SmackDown, and Courtney as well. Can't excuse Courtney. Courtney decided to jump on the train as well. Did not let her sister do this by herself. I myself definitely took a break because they didn't ask me to volunteer, and I didn't throw out to volunteer. So, but these two are the Iron Women of WWT. My tag team partner, Miss Wrestling with Honey. How are you doing this evening?
I am great. Coming off of a crazy action-packed SmackDown, a lot of things going on. And I got some questions for you about that SmackDown and concerns mostly, but we'll get into that whenever we have some little breaks. But
let's dive into it. No, let's get into it.
Let's do it. You know what? Then let's do it since it's still fresh on my mind. And I was thinking of you during the watch along, and I had brought this up to Courtney. Hey everybody, this is late night honey. Late night honey. Like this is completely out of my element, but I'm excited to do this. And I was not gonna let my tag team partner watch this alone. I will watch this all over again, which I clearly will. And but yeah, so Councilman, what is going on in Strattonville? What is going on in Strattonville? Did you see what happened on SmackDown? That queen gripped that poor girl by her throat, and she didn't look too happy about it. I just have some concerns. I wanted to make sure you're okay. I know probably the phone lines are busy at the councilman's office because there's a lot of unhappy clients lately. But how are you faring with all of that?
It's all part of the plan.
Okay, Heath Ledger. It's all part of the plan. Got it.
Yeah. It's all part of the plan. Look, Tiffany got to understand there's some chops that you have to take in order to get to greatness. And because of what she's been doing already, that's what excelled her to this greatness. But we all know that there's still layers and levels of what you have to do when you're in this industry. And right now, we understand that the master is frustrated. So let's really look at it when we see this. Let's really talk about the big picture about this. Why is Nia Jax so offended by a person that's being loyal to you? Title in hand, you've been successful with your stuff. You're a queen of the ring.
I don't know. Is it mistrust? Is it mistrust, or is this like a feeling that she's felt before, possibly when she's joined up with people and it's never worked out?
Maybe. Well, I mean, you know what it is too. I believe, and I think it's just if we're just going to be clear about it, it is what you call blonde Barbie syndrome. It's a traumatic effect that she's had thanks to one of her former people who treated her like crap, Miss Alexa Bliss. Therefore, what she's doing is she's resonating that resentment that she has from Miss Bliss onto my client now, because of, you know, certain features that may seem similar, and it's causing a PTSD.
I was just gonna say,
and you know, but Tiffany my client understood this going in. She is strong. She is prepared. Again, it gets heated when you're in the ring, though. You know what I'm saying? Tempers do fly. Tempers flare. You get a little bit out of your pocket. But as you saw, my client, she still stood fast. And now she has a match with Naomi next week, and we've already seen what she does with Naomi. So this gives her a chance if any frustrations are there. I'm not saying that there are any. She at least will have somewhere where those frustrations could allegedly be taken out.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. That's not saying that there's any. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'll just say tempers do tend to flare in the ring.
Things are just getting really intense. I mean, it all, like I was saying this to Courtney, it just seems like everything's just being built up for one big war. If you catch my drift, we're on our way. But I just had to ask. I just wanted to make sure you were all right. I know the office and the phone lines are ringing and are busy as hell. So I just wanted to make sure all was good with the councilman. I had to check up on things.
We're remaining steadfast. This is our first time wars came. It can get a little stressful. You know, sometimes you do have slight moments where you may have somewhat of doubt, but thank you to my WWT panel. That keeps me steadfast in remembering who I am, allows me to make sure they remember who they are as my clients. And that, we may be in the storm, but storms pass and they come and go, and we still gonna be standing.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure things were running smoothly, but we only wish the best for Strattonville and Pop Rock City. I just don't know how well that's going to go with Queen Nia for Strattonville, but we'll see. But we are here.
I can say this. You know, when those storms pass, maybe both my clients might be still holding gold. Just going to throw that out there.
You never know, and you can never say never, not in this business.
Miss Stratton from around the way, she leaving here with something.
Yeah, definitely. But nevertheless, we are here for our nightly watch along of the Netflix docuseries that just dropped, Mr. McMahon. I've seen it already. I don't want to give too much away. Courtney has seen it. She just finished it today as well. We are here in support of our other WWT sibling councilman, just to get his initial reaction and to create some discussion as we go along. So for the first episode, we have, the episode is called Junior. It's 51 minutes, so feel free to chill with us for the next hour as we discuss all things about this episode with Mr. McMahon. Yeah, I just can't wait to see what you think of it. I know
I had to
there's gonna be some touchy reactions as you go forward, I'm sure, about a lot of things that you said. You might have to run some things back, like, what the hell did he just say? Did he just say what I think he said? There's a few things like that, but I want to wait to hear everybody else's take on watching it in full. And then we can have the full discussion, especially with Professor as well, because I know he wanted to discuss a lot about it as well as soon as everybody catches up. But here we are, and we are on different time zones, so we just got to make sure we prepare and press play at the same time.
Yes.
I will not lie. I'm a little bit in orbit right now. If anyone else would like to do the countdown, that would be wonderful.
I can do a quick 5-second countdown. Here we go. So
let's do it.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now it has to load.
Oh wow! Word.
No, it's not. No.
Oh, I'm about to pause.
Oh no, not that I had to download the app. No, not at all.
Okay, I may be a little bit ahead because I just started.
I was about to say this.
Vince
this
is walking into the ring and sitting in the chair right now for me.
Yeah, I'm seeing Linda now.
Yeah, Linda, Shane.
Linda's there. Shane.
Stephanie.
Bob Costas. Stephanie. Triple H. Everybody named Mama was in this.
Ooh, Brett. What?
Hogan with the mirror and the hair, like.
Yo, this is like the whole Attitude Era.
Trish, everybody, John, and Cody. There's the Attitude Era, and then there's Cody.
But Cody's basically Dusty because he grew up around all that. So you really like Dusty and your son.
Yeah. Just wait. Speaking of Dusty, and that was one of the things that Professor didn't want to give away. Just wait. I will admit it must be strange to talk about yourself.
Yeah.
For a documentary. Especially when you're someone who's not used to doing it.
You would think this would be easy for him, but not really.
Right. Shout outs to everybody in the chat as well. If you guys want to watch along with us, please let us know what you think of the episode or whatever things we touch upon. Feel free to chime in on some topics and things, even if you've seen it already. Try not to give too many spoilers for our councilman here. Imagine being in your 70s and still saying, I haven't still figured out who I am. Imagine that. There's little things that I was listening to that he said that really concerned me. And we talked about it earlier too, like as far as, what would have happened if Vince McMahon went to therapy or got the love from his father that he always wanted, but Dave Meltzer's in there, Schumacher's in there, Brian Gerwitz is in there as well. Shout outs to them. Paul Heyman's been in here as well. I want Paul Heyman to write a book so I could get the audio version and I could just hear him narrate. I could just listen to that man talk.
Oh my God, he would just like ooze out so much knowledge.
Mm-hmm. There goes Brett. Before a final interview with Vince McMahon, breaking news had halted production.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
like everywhere. ESPN, Forbes.
It was everywhere. Wall Street Journal, everywhere. Like that. Why is everything always in an anonymous email?
So
you don't get popped?
Okay, you're right. Yeah, so you might not know this, Councilman, but they do reveal this later on in the series. But before the final interviews, this news came out, and he did not finish the interviews. which is probably what made me realize why. It's probably one of the reasons why he tried to repurchase the documentary rights, but failed.
Yeah. The majority of the following interviews, including when Vince McMahon was filming, found allegations were made public. Dang, but for that to happen when you spilling your guts,
are you filming your own damn docuseries?
That's just.
He said, "I wish I could tell you the real stories." Holy shit! Well, then why didn't the fuck you tell us?
Well, why don't you say it?
Yeah, tell us. Semi interesting, he said. I don't want anybody to really know me. I'm glad I'm watching this again because it's confirming a lot of the things that Professor said earlier. Shout outs to the professor. When it, like in that moment, you could see there's a lot of things that he doesn't want to look back on. If it's not about WWE, he doesn't want to look back on anything personal. You could tell that really shit happened to this man. And they talk about it.
Yep.
Not detailed, but they talk about some things. Even watching all of this back then, like watching all of this go down, like I never thought in a million years this man would not be a part of anything WWE. Like Vince was that staple, but it's hard to look past it with all the things that he was accused of this year, which still has yet to be convicted of because right now they're still under federal investigation. He is anyway.
Everything and throughout the whole years.
Episode 1, Junior. Thank y'all for joining and tuning in. Shout outs to everybody already in the chat. She's got a good point there.
Yep.
Why he ain't got a real shirt on, man? Why you? All right, so,
you know what?
Tony, nah. Yo, come on.
It's the cutoff in time for me. I'm like, what happened to the sleeves, Tony? What happened to the sleeves? I love that old man, though.
I'm like,
wait, oh my God. Wait, really quick pause.
Okay,
Pausing. I just paused on Brett getting suplexed. Really quick pause. Cool story about Tony Atlas. I met Tony Atlas. I was with my family away on vacation in the Poconos. This was years ago. I was still pretty little. This was when R-Truth was K-Quick. Put it that way. If y'all remember.
Okay. You know. Man. Yes.
Quick, rowdy, road dog. Yeah. And at the hotel where we were staying at the lobby or the big hall that they had, they were having a meet and greet and a signing, and it was free. K-Quick, aka R-Truth, was there. Tony Atlas and Honky Tonk Man. And Tony Atlas, I spoke to him and he was like, "Hey, little girl, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And I was like, for those who do know me, I used to be a former dance teacher. I was very big into dance, modeling, all kinds of things like that. And I told him, I was like, I want to be a dancer. I want to be a dance teacher, a choreographer, this. And he's like, you know what? I could see you doing something in news or media. And here we are. Accidentally, happy accidents. Every time I see him, I always think of that story. And I'm just like, he put the bug in my ear when I didn't even know it. It's crazy. But just fun little fact there. I'm unpausing now.
All right, about 7:13 for me.
Oh, you guys got 17. Okay. 17.
Oh, well, 7:15. I'm a little bit ahead.
Don't worry. You're good.
Yeah, because this is where Brett's talking.
Leave it. I knew Councilman was going to comment on his shirt as soon as I saw it. It's crazy because you see some of this footage You see that footage and you're just like, oh, God, I
Wow.
remember this. I remember this. I remember this. Woo. Yes, you were. You hear that, Councilman? Brett was a
Yeah.
true artist.
Yeah. See what happened to artists when they
Shut up, man.
don't disagree with that at all, but okay.
You are terrible. Yes. Pro wrestling has always been a soap opera. That's exactly what my dad used to call it. He used to call
Yeah,
it the
it's a
male soap opera. But
Male
I was
soap
like,
opera.
Yeah.
I watch it too.
They're like, no. They're like,
And
no.
how far we've come, man. How far we've come from the times.
Yeah. And it's always interesting how people say it's not real. And I was like, well, ask some of the wrestlers who've been injured for many, many years, who've had countless surgeries, countless heads to the trauma.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
1985.
It's like the story of Vince and the McMahons is basically Succession. If you guys know, if you guys watch the show Succession on HBO Max, fantastic show. The premier source.
Paul E. Heyman.
Yep, because you snuck in and was like, I'm a photographer. That's crazy.
Wow.
He didn't even know what his last name was.
Yeah.
What's up, Dion? Thanks for hanging with us. IB Walker, thank you for joining us. This is on Netflix and it is currently number 3 in the top 5 list.
Mm-hmm.
Even in his baby pictures, you could see Vince in there. Yo, like that's so nuts.
Yeah.
I want a series or a movie like around these times. Like when wrestling, like I would love to see like a movie. You know, like how they're doing Fight Night on Peacock right now.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to do one where something like that, the night Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson won the tag belts.
Oh,
like
wow.
Just this story around that time and something going on while that happened.
Yeah. That's deep, man.
Yo, this haircut.
Yeah,
what the fuck is this, dog?
I don't know, dude. Not sure. I mean, it was the time.
Know. That was the 80s, like around 85.
That was a look.
And it's so interesting. They have all the territorial development wrestling.
Mm. Not for nothing. No offense to anybody, But Vince McMahon Sr. looked like a real piece of work, dog.
Yeah. Nah, he looked like that's not somebody you wanted to stay with.
That's not some.
Yeah.
Nah, you're definitely not getting a pat on the back from that guy. He said so. The story basically, he was talking about there was an announcer that was threatening to quit if he didn't get paid more. And Vince was like, "What are you gonna do?" He said, "Well, you do it. You go announce. Just
Oh
throw
my
him to
goodness.
the fucking wolves." Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you are tuning in, this is the Netflix watch along for Mr. McMahon on Women's Wrestling Talk. Got the councilman and Courtney in the house, as well as your sweetest oos, Wrestling with Honey. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Feel free to chime in.
Damn, Bruno was big as fuck.
Yeah,
Who?
Bruno San Martino.
Oh, Bruno. Yeah, hell yeah. Bruno was that dude. Like, hello. There's a reason why
I see why he was champ. Yeah, that long.
for
Damn.
fucking 7 years, basically.
This is like he damn near looked like the Giants' brother, just not as big.
And Larry Zbyszko was no slouch either. He had a crazy build too.
No.
Look at the way the ring looked like.
Wow.
And the ref clothes. And the chairs.
And the announcers, look at their outfits.
Yeah. And look, there was no fence or gate or barricade. There was none of that.
Oh.
It was just like a tape or rope. Look at all them old people.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Vince Dale looked like he used to slap women. I'm just throwing it out there. Like no thought behind it. Just and then had a drink. Like this is not a dude who you'd want to grow up with.
Look at this. He wasn't even going to sell it to Vince when he was ready to give up the business. He was going to sell it to Gorilla Monsoon.
Wow.
I saw this. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't think I've ever seen, like, I've known Gorilla Monsoon was a wrestler, but I did not see footage of him. And I've never seen him with footage of Muhammad Ali before. Like me personally. That's big.
No, I knew about the payment thing. I knew about buying it. But I've never seen him in action. I've always seen him as like an announcer or commentator with the glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Vince was not his first choice on buying the company.
But what's crazy is that in order for him to be the first choice, he negotiated a deal that was appealing to his father and the stockholders, which is crazy because that's you're that young. Like, how do you know to deal with stuff like that? You know? But
yeah, that's.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying, Councilman. He definitely did. I'm sure he did. He mentions, getting abused by his dad and mom.
Yeah.
So.
Look at all those territorial.
He still doesn't like that pro wrestling term.
Sports entertainment.
Georgia Championship.
Look at all those regions.
Yeah, all of them.
All those territories. GCW.
Yo, they need to make a show about this, yo.
AWA.
Like, you need a show for this. Like, all of this stuff would be so dope to see. Yep.
WWF. It was like beef on the block or like gang stuff. Like
It's
don't
the
go,
mob.
like,
It's the
don't-
mob. Yeah.
yeah, mob.
Yeah.
Like don't go
You
on my
gotta-
block. I won't
Like,
roll in
don't
your territory.
do it.
Like
Cordial.
the Texas Mafia would like to speak to y'all.
Yeah.
We heard what y'all did in Dallas.
Someone else's territory.
Dang, that man say he gonna go do a show and they shit.
Yep.
Everywhere, dude. Vince, I'm telling, without Vince, wrestling probably wouldn't even be global, dude. We wouldn't be here right now. None of
Yeah.
us.
Dang, yo, hold on, pause that. Pause this. Please pause this.
Pausing.
Please pause this.
I'm at
Yo.
18.
1825 for me.
Go ahead.
I want 18, I think 16. No.
Okay. We're still in the same
18,
realm.
18, 26, yeah. This man basically took on the mob of wrestling and said, fuck y'all. And won.
And took a risk.
Like, and won.
And
Like,
didn't
yo,
give
like,
a damn.
I don't think like y'all like, bro, it's different taking over your city, like wherever your whole territory is.
Mhm.
That's one thing. It's another thing to go to somewhere like, let's say Florida, and you carve yourself out a piece of this. But to take the whole thing, then to go take Georgia, then to go take Mississippi, this man is the Genghis Khan of wrestling.
Recruitment. He's like he was basically the Thanos of promoting.
This man literally wow, yo, that
Imagine being imagine how I wonder what it was that made Vince have that thought. Like what made it click? When did the light bulb hit where you were like, nah, we could do something bigger with this? Like
I think it's the same thing that you have when you have like when destiny and fate collides and meets at the same time. I think it's the same thing like with Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs, when it was like, yo, what could we do that's better? And even one thing that I think that they all do is they're all public servants. So Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs made the Apple to make it easier for us to be able to deal with life when we needed something through our technology. That was what their main thing was. They wanted to make sure that we could feel that how we needed to feel and that we can have these products assist us. Vince is doing the same thing. You're a caterer to people. Like this is a place where people go to feel. And for something that you may not be able to do well like that, the fact that you're creating it though,
yes,
says a lot.
Yes.
That just kind of blew my mind. Just
to be able to have it kind of reminds you of when you're younger, or not even just when you're younger, when you just know you have a really good idea and you're not sure how to begin it, but you just start. And then from there, you plant the seed and you watch it grow and grow and grow until there's no turning back. That's basically what happened, man. He completely changed the landscape of how wrestling was perceived, booked, promoted, all the above. You know what I mean? Pressing play.
Let's press play.
All right, I'm about to.
And even with getting threatened, he didn't give a damn.
No,
he did not care.
No shit, no fucks.
Zero.
Oh my god.
Vern Gagne and Bischoff.
Eric Bischoff.
I used to call him Eric Bischoff during the Monday Night Wars.
Oh.
He was such a shit, but I loved him. I respect him. Like Steamboat, man.
Ricky the Dragon.
Look at the difference, though. Do you see how they went from the Steamboat, the earlier Steamboat with Vern Gagne to Mean Gene? Look at the polishing, completely different.
Yeah. Jesse the Body Ventura.
This man is wild.
Stampede, Andre the Giant.
Look at Brett. Then go back to their other. Imagine that you stealing everybody's territories and then you bringing them back to your product.
Cause that's some mob shit. That's like, yo,
That's like
I'm
under
putting you on the
under.
submission. Why does this man not have sleeves?
Yeah.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. That's what I heard. That Tony, dog eat dog world.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the world of professional wrestling.
Savage.
Tough. Damn.
We need that to be a clip, Dylan. We need that. If you see this, Dylan, we need that. Tough. Just that part.
Yeah.
Tough.
Oh my God, Bob Backlund.
Yo.
Dusty Road.
Look, Will. Listen to this, Pharaoh. Listen. Look at Cody. It's crazy how him and Cody have the same freaking face. The same exact face. Oh, I love him.
How can you not love Dusty Rhodes?
All right, now pause.
All right.
Really quick pause.
I'm at.
This is the moment that Professor was talking about. He was trying to find somebody to be his main star. And Hogan wasn't his first choice. Can you imagine, Councilman, how things would look now if Dusty was the Hogan instead of Hogan?
Man, Jackie would have had a way bigger career than what she had now. I'll tell you that.
Wait, who?
Jackie. Jackie from WWE.
Oh my God.
Would have had it. I'm just saying, like, if I'm just really being honest, like, I think you would have had a rush of melanin run through WWE with him there, like from people that look like myself, Latino community, everything. Even like,
and Dusty was big on that. He was big on
it. And it's just like it's happening now, but it was just like no, Randy Orton would be like, that's the thing too. Like I don't like Randy Orton would still be here because it is, because like Dusty still cared about legacy.
Yeah,
it's just things would have looked a little bit different.
It absolutely would have.
Like Cody would have been in Randy Orton's place for legacy. Like Cody would have been in Evolution.
Yeah,
that's exactly what we were saying.
Cody would have been Intercontinental Champion. He would have been the World Heavyweight Champion.
Cody would have no story to finish.
Mm-mm.
We would have gotten The Rock versus Roman Reigns.
But just two, and it was like, I know we're gonna have to talk about that in a bigger setting. But like, I want you to think of all the mainstream matches Hogan had, and imagine if that was Dusty, or who would be there instead. Like we said, like if Dusty Rhodes had connected with Macho Man, and you got Soul Power.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine, but
things.
But even that, no WCW, because Dusty never leaves.
Oh yeah, WCW.
And Dusty would have been one of the first inductees in the Hall of Fame. Would there have even been an NXT?
Would there have been a Monday Night War?
There wouldn't have been no war.
None.
And then imagine this: he pulls in Paul Heyman, so there's no ECW because he's here.
That would have been crazy
because of the respect he had for Dusty, and it's like, yo, well, why don't you come work for us? But also that balance of two, you still had Vince there. So,
but would Dusty have been down with being the golden boy for Vince? He said he didn't believe in it. He said he didn't believe he was the one.
I think he would have ran into the same thing he was running into with his father. And I think that's going to be the thing that would have happened. Like, there's something you see that you wanted to go, but I don't know if you were ready for the path that it was going to bring you down. Because even look at like what the world is now as far as how he shaped WWE, and look at what we're watching now. So just imagine having this pathway,
Yeah.
would Vince have still been the same? Would we have had to have had the Montreal Screwjob and the McMahon character never be born?
Right. Or even I'll take it even further. Cody would be in Roman's position.
Well,
He would be the tribal chief.
Well,
I don't know about a tribal chief. I don't know. There's only one.
I know. That's just.
I don't know about
but then to that point, that's where now too maybe you start to get the split. So what if it's now? Let's say we have a SCW, which is Samoa Championship Wrestling. Let's say that's the competition now.
Oh.
So now you got the Samoan promotion, and of course we've seen it, and then connects with Puerto Rico, and you already know that they're thriving because Dusty's gonna let them eat.
Right.
So imagine like you don't have no splits. Like this can be like
Dusty would have been unifying glue to everything.
Yeah,
I think it would have been totally different WWE. But that's the crazy fact that councilman professor was referring to on Wednesday, where he was like, "Can you imagine if he was the golden boy and not Hogan?"
Well, I know this. He wouldn't be in so much trouble like Hogan's in right now.
That
is very true.
Hogan probably would have never had to slip up.
But just imagine too, where would Hogan be?
Hogan wouldn't be Hogan.
Yeah.
Hogan would probably be, I would say he would be a Hollywood star if I had to guess.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. If this would have happened, you wouldn't get no Bret Hart. I'm letting y'all know that now. You would not get a Bret Hart.
You're not?
No,
why?
because think about it. This is charisma now. So what would have happened is Shawn Michaels is responsible for making a WWE superstar where you had to be like that. He would have already created this by WrestleMania.
He would have already been the standard.
So you would have had to have elevated. So like we'd have had Attitude Era in the beginning 90s.
Okay.
We wouldn't have had it start when it started. Like we would already be ahead because of the personality you would have to have with this.
Yeah.
You had to be larger than life. There's no way you would topple it. Like you couldn't be a Bob Backlund.
Brett was
in
life though. For me.
I still like Brett. I still like Brett.
Everybody likes Brett. Don't mean he the best though.
The best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Play.
At being mid. Play.
Oh boy.
Ass. But yeah, so Vince was looking for someone to charm you, be exciting a little bit more. I mean, but I don't know what was more exciting than Dusty Rhodes, but you found it.
I mean, you know what it is. Hold on, pause it.
It's politicking.
You know what? No, you know why he picked him. Because Dusty was fat.
I wouldn't even say that. Dusty wasn't.
No. I'm talking about in the eyes from Vince, and you have heard Vince say stuff like
but Vince was his first. But Dusty was Vince's first choice.
Yeah, but they was
so
like,
he didn't think it wasn't about his weight at all. I don't think.
You already know that's what it was. Compared to Hogan, look at Hogan at this time. Hogan is literally Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's a blonde Arnold Schwarzenegger because again, but I'm saying to the point of Dusty was the common man, and again, they wanted somebody that they can make into like this gigantic superhero. So he didn't know what a superstar was. That's the only problem. He knew what a superstar was. He just didn't know how to explain it to the others to get that. They were like, no, we want to make a superhero. Yes, but you have a superstar right here. These people are going to look to this superstar rather than looking to this character, but it makes sense, and we're going to talk about it when it's done, why he got picked. And it goes in a line with the problem that is Mr. McMahon. But we can hit play.
And 1, 2, 3. I was telling my husband as I was watching this with him, I was like, I feel like this is the most hair I've seen on Hogan's head ever. Ever. What was his name before he said Hulk Hogan? I forgot what he said.
Terry Funk. Nah,
No.
it's
Hell
Terry
no.
something.
I do not listen. I don't give a damn how strong you think you are or how tough you big and bad you think you are. The last thing I want is that big motherfucker Andre the Giant screaming my name and trying to get me while blood is running down his face.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm leaving the building. I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
That's a big ass dude.
Yeah.
Andre was a big man.
Yeah.
Man.
That's a
Andre.
big
The
dude.
biggest of all the big men.
Mhm.
All right, I got a commercial. I'm on commercial.
Okay.
I got a 24-second commercial.
What do you know what your timestamp was or no?
Nah, just shit. I should have.
All right, well, I stopped at 22.
22, 22 for me.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
Little angel
Okay.
numbers there. I love
There
that.
you go.
Good
Yes.
luck. That's some good luck right there.
All right, I'm at 22-25.
Oh, okay. I'm a little ahead. I'm like ahead by like 20 seconds, but go ahead.
Okay. One.
And go.
Right.
Not for nothing. Hogan was a stud.
Yeah, he looked like a stud.
Look wise, that man, and look at Tony behind him. Like,
You see what I mean? Honey.
No.
Tough.
no, I'm talking about like their stature and their appearance. And you know what? This was something I forgot to mention. I didn't realize that Hogan did Rocky 3 before he became Hogan. Like Red and
that
Yellow.
I didn't know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I thought he was already I thought he was already Hulk Hogan, like Red and Yellow Hogan. No, this was who he was before then.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
Wow.
How quick can you get to Minnesota? We're gonna have to go back and fact check everything Hogan's saying here because you know.
Yep.
This man said Elvis was a fan of him, dog.
Elvis wasn't even
boy. Elvis wasn't even around.
I was like, what? What?
Shut the hell up, Hogan.
Hogan, sit your ass down.
Yes.
Hilarious. It wasn't until he got to AWA that he started doing the ripping the shirt and going crazy. Like it was just something about the guy. Like
Yeah. Just
he was again.
When
It's
his
a
music-
true character.
when his music hit and shit, like the kids went nuts. Everybody went crazy.
everybody.
Because you gotta think about it, he wasn't real in a sense. Like this was something you saw in comic books. This was something you seen in movies. The 6'5", like mega. That's what I was saying. Like to Dusty, Dusty's a common man with
Thunder
a lot of
lips.
spirit.
Thunder lips.
But you send Hogan there, they like, dang, this dude is huge. Like this dude is really straight out of a comic book. No pun intended.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. And then the beef with the Iron Sheik.
Oh yeah, the Iron Sheik.
You know, at first, when I first watched this, and my husband was like, is this about Hogan or is this about McMahon?
Right?
It eventually leads all into it. It's basically the same shit they do today.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a different time then. It was a different time then.
That's a wild thing to do though during that time.
Chanting,
Yeah.
like, you have an Iranian character who's a heel, and you got people chanting Iran sucks and all this shit. Like,
but imagine the psyche you gotta have to be chic to do that shit.
Yeah.
And this during kayfabe time, so like you didn't break kayfabe.
Nope.
Oh yeah,
That was Vince's thing, and they mention it here a lot. Don't sell.
Mm-hmm.
David Rosca, thank you for joining us. He says, is there going to be more documentary for Vince McMahon? I don't think so after this. I don't think so. I watched all 6 parts too, but we're here joining the councilman, getting some initial reactions here. Look at Mr. Fuji.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Well said, Tony Atlas. If you want to know what the world is like, you watch wrestling.
Nikolai Volkov.
Yeah, Iron Sheik was such a fantastic heel, though. He was so
He,
perfect for that part.
he just
Hot
played that role
damn.
so well.
You remember when that man tweeted, I suplexed the coronavirus? Rest in peace, Sheik.
Mm-hmm.
If it were done today now, that would be a problem. Mm-hmm. And yep, had him face Bob Backlund.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at the freaking arena. Look at the people there. Even when the heels were out, they were going crazy.
Yep.
Like they made it damn well. They might as well have tried to have dove in the ring and beat the shit out of him.
I know. Wow, Madison Square Garden in the 80s. Oh, and Howard Finkel doing announcing.
I do believe Hulk in this instance where he was talking about, like there was some things that weren't planned, because you do have to listen to the crowd,
Mhm.
especially in this time, because it's not like
Yeah.
you have internet where we're telling you these things and all of a sudden they're doing the things we're saying. No, they
Yeah.
had to feel you out via sound and via visual at the event right then and there. The champagne.
Wow. Yeah.
I just love seeing all the old stuff. It makes you smile, but then
It's
you
just
like really think about what this documentary is about, and you're like,
yeah. It's just like looking back at some of those photos, it gives you a warm feeling, and then it comes back and bites you
Yeah.
on what the actual thing is about. It's like, okay.
And to think some of us weren't even born yet.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
No. Oh, Mean Gene.
R.I.P. the GOAT. That's what I meant to tell y'all on Raw. Like now listening to Joe Tessitore, for some reason, he sounds like Mean Gene if he was a commentator instead of an announcer.
I can see
There's
that.
some elements of his voice that he sounds like Mean Gene. It's very old school, and I like it. So I've given him a chance ever since that first episode. That this episode, this past week, definitely capped it off because of Jey Uso's win. Oh. Just right before, that's so sad.
Damn, that's cold.
Oof.
The day before he died, he told him he loved him. Look at his face, like when he talks about this.
Mm.
I love Tony Atlas. Yo, Tony Atlas was telling it like it is this whole fucking documentary, dog.
I don't think he liked the motherfucker, if I'm just being honest.
He's like, I'm
Yeah,
just
I know.
saying, dog.
I mean, you could tell by the body language in the face, like.
Yeah, man, it's no shade to Vince Sr. He didn't want to let go. He didn't want to let go. And
He wanted to do
you had to
it.
move with the times. Your son was seeing things that you didn't, and there was who you could have a new dog teach you old tricks if you wanted to, and not the other way around.
He wanted to stick with the same thing and not innovate, as it was already entering into the 80s.
I don't think there was anything wrong with the way Vince felt. He was young, ambitious, and when you have an idea and you set yourself, you set yourself up to want to like expand on that idea, you'll do anything to do it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't even remember this shit. I don't even remember this talk show. I don't even remember Vince McMahon ever having a talk show. I definitely wasn't
I
around
do,
for this.
because I
No,
remember this.
I
set.
don't.
I do.
What?
I remember this fucking set. Yes.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Stupid idiot. The very
Wow.
first stupid idiot.
Yo, they used to play this on Channel 10, like at night, like around 2 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
But I think it was just reruns, though.
Yeah, it had to be reruns. I don't remember
Yeah.
actually seeing this. He was just a creative dude.
Mm-hmm.
He just wanted to tell stories. Look at him. Letterman, yeah.
Mm.
Yo, Vince was funny. Vince was a
Yes,
funny
he was.
host.
Yeah, he was. I think he had moments that he was really funny.
He was a charmer.
It might be the hair.
Well, this hair looks a lot better than what it did before. Damn, yo, look at Linda. Shit. And there we go. Now we're going into our generation's MTV. I miss
MTV
that. I
generation.
miss that MTV.
Cyndi Lauper.
And who was her daddy in her music video?
Captain Lou Albano.
Oh, yeah. And that was when the real crossover happened.
Mhm.
She's the reason why you have celebrities like Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B. Why you got, crossover marketing with celebrities. It all started with Cyndi. She was just at the VMA Awards too.
Mm-hmm.
Icon.
Straight up. And they stayed really good friends, like Albano and her,
I know.
for a long time.
Until he passed away.
Damn.
That's a good question, Dion.
That's
That's a good question. What?
Why isn't Cyndi Lauper in the Hall of Fame? Wow.
I challenge you, you fat bag of wind.
We need to bring that up.
That's a New York. That's a New York girl in her. She has a New York accent.
That Italian New York accent.
That's wild. She's not in there.
No, she's not.
Oh,
And low key should be called the Cyndi Lauper Celebrity
Why
Hall
you got
of
that
Fame.
girl running on a treadmill with a headband on and all this shit and wearing makeup?
It's the 80s.
I know.
Yeah.
Shout out, Hall of Famer Wendy Richter.
Yeah, Wendy.
Look at the look. Look at the hair. Look at the style. It didn't matter, dude. None of that mattered. Look at those hoops. Hold my earrings.
Wait, did Wendy win or no? Wendy didn't win, right?
She got screwed.
Yeah, she got screwed.
The first original screw job.
Yeah, Moolah did not want to get that belt up. Yo.
So, quick pause.
Yeah, pause this.
So, fucking, no offense, Moolah. I also love watching Dark Side of the Ring.
Love it. That's who I'd have watched them.
That was great.
There
was
was
really great.
one night where I just couldn't sleep. I had I don't know if it was insomnia or what have you, or just couldn't sleep. But I stood up and I binged the shit out of a few episodes, including hers, Chris Benoit's.
Man,
it was rough and it was late night, and I was just like, "Oh my god, should I be watching this now?" But
no.
Knowing what I mean, who knows if it's true or not because we're not behind those doors. But knowing what I learned on Dark Side of the Ring about Moolah, I don't really look at her much the same. Seeing what she did to Wendy, girl, that was really fucked up. That was really fucked up.
But that's what that was a prime example of you know where the industry's going and you could have a dope part to play in this. As much as I be clowning on Bret Hart, we wouldn't have Vince McMahon if it wasn't for you acting the way you acted. You wouldn't have
the character Mr. McMahon without Bret.
And you wouldn't have moved into the Attitude Era. But that's why it's also too, it's you can relish in that, but also too, there's a caveat to it because you refuse to change with the times and hand it over.
You refuse to do business.
Yeah. And you thought you were bigger than the business. Mm-hmm. And it showed. It was because Moolah knew this was it. You could get that belt back. This is a time for you. You hear this crowd. You can feel the energy around here. And Moolah just could not let it go. And that just shows how powerful that drug really is of fame. Mm-hmm. You could have had the best moment because people would have respected you for it. You could have held up Whitney's hand and relished in that moment with her and Cyndi Lauper and had a moment in time. But you only thought about your fucking self.
Only. Yep. And if those other things were true, those other things she was accused of doing, the whole trafficking and using girls and promising them things and then it not happening and then whoring them off or whatever. Child, that's dirty. That's grimy. That's dirty. Yeah. And that's fucked up.
But to us, even talking about Vince on that same part, it takes a monster to make a monster. Mm-hmm. And so again, not saying she shouldn't be held accountable for what she did if she did it, but we also know what her upbringing was. Mm-hmm. And we know how it transformed her into this person she didn't even understand.
Therefore, going back to what Professor said earlier today, hurt people hurt people. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's a deep saying, and it's the truth. It's so true. It is.
Yeah.
We're all trying to, as human beings, I don't want to we're all trying to just do better for ourselves as human beings and be better than our yesterdays. And these people, some of them, most of them, did not even bother wanting to change to be better when they knew they were doing wrong. And when you have that kind of awareness, that makes you even more fucked up than usual, if you don't mind me saying, forgive the term, but I'm just saying it just makes you a little bit more fucked up than usual because you know you're doing wrong and you know it's wrong. But you got like why not just stop doing it? Why not just change and see it for the better?
Well, because again, you don't have no one telling you that, and then you don't have no one to counteract the justifications as to why you're doing it.
And what it is back then, because you know how they say how a lot of older people are saying this younger generation is sensitive. I don't think that's the case at all. I think that y'all lack empathy because y'all were taught back in the day to just sweep shit under the rug and act like it never happened and pretend and move on. But then you have that demon inside and you have those demons in your head and those sleepless nights or those drugs that you do that reawaken that shit. And you're just like, come on, man. Come on. You have to find some accountability for your actions. And Moolah was one of them. Rest in peace, legend in the ring and all of that. But
outside the ring, that's
it.
I'll take Mae Young before I take Moolah.
I see why they don't call it the Moolah Women's Battle Royale no more. We just
Yeah, well, that's true because around that time, that's when the Dark Side of the Ring episode aired.
Yeah, but they had so many people go to Twitter like, "Yo, y'all so wrong for calling it this after what she's done." Yes, it was just like, "Yo, what they talk about?" It's like, "Yo, y'all finna find out what this woman was really like." And then Dark Side of the Ring came out. We was just like,
you just kind of like.
Yep. Which is why I thought it was so much better when they used the term for I forgot oh my god, whose promotion was it? We just talked about it this week with the Sherry Martel tournament. I'd prefer that.
Oh, ROW, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, when I saw that, they was like, yeah, they changed it instantly. They was like, yeah, we're not calling it that no more. And I was just like, yo, so if that's the case, that should tell you something.
Right.
That's why you got the Mae Young Classic, and it's like, yo, okay, that still got some legitimacy. But man, that Women's Battle Royal, I don't think I don't even think they have that anymore, do they?
The Mae Young Classic?
No, the Mae Young Classic, but do they still do the Battle Royal for women?
I don't.
They only have the Royal Rumble.
Not recently.
No, I think it was just the men now. I think only the men get it.
Yeah.
Like the Andre the Giant Battle Royal or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they got rid of the women's version. Dang, that's not trying to say it's true, but
I feel like Mae Young and her aligned themselves later on because Mae Young was that one bitch that she couldn't fuck with. Like you're not pulling that shit on me. I know who you are. I see right through you. Mae Young will cut you.
I will cut you. Do you understand this? I will cut you.
Man, like that lady has taken bumps like no other, even through a table, got 3D through a table in her 80s. Okay, she'll beat your ass.
That lady, that's why she stuck around with her. That's why. Yeah.
But
yeah. Whew. All right, we ready?
I have on my timestamp, just so you guys know. And shout outs to everybody joining in and hanging with us for the watch along. I see you on the viewers. I see you guys in the comments. Appreciate it so much. I have on my timestamp 14 minutes and 16 seconds left.
14 and 18.
Yeah, 14.
Okay, perfect. We're almost there, y'all. Almost there. Thanks for joining us so much in this late night WWT edition for the Mr. McMahon documentary watch along. Pulling in that triple, double, quadruple duty tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just the siblings in the house. You know, the parents are asleep and we're staying up late and we're not supposed to be watching TV. We're supposed to be getting ready for school tomorrow, but we don't care. We staying.
Nah. TK is at a Trick Williams signing right now outside waiting to get in. I know what she is. We know where TK is.
T-Hawk, thank you for joining us. And you know,
she knew she heard Trick Willie was gonna be up in San Francisco. She's like, I'm gonna go to San Francisco real quick. I'll be back. I'll be back tonight.
Goodness.
Councilman.
I'm gonna fight all these urges, my brother.
We'll fight these urges. Let's hit play.
I love this. I love this. I can't wait to do the next watch along. I really love this late night edition. But
Yes.
here we go and play on 3, 2, 1. Yo, Roddy Piper, man. I loved Roddy Piper.
He was like the king of controversial.
He was the only man that Hogan didn't beat. Mr. T.
Mr. T.
But imagine this and Dusty with Mr. T.
Again, and with Roddy Piper in his corner.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Is that Danny DeVito?
Yes, that is.
My God.
Shout out Danny DeVito, man.
Danny DeVito.
Jersey Mike Subs.
Yes. Andy Warhol?
Yup. Andy motherfucking Warhol, dude.
Wow.
Hogan did get his win eventually over Piper in WCW, but in WWE terms, he never beat Roddy.
Nope.
Damn, Vince. This man, pause real quick. This man did not give a fuck about no vacation. He went on vacation and thought of another plan. And that's how he came up with the idea of WrestleMania, on vacation.
That's why he need a show. Like, we need a real show. And
like a biopic.
Yes. Like, this could go
Who
on
would play
for
him? Who would
play Vince McMahon?
Who would play Vince McMahon? Leonardo DiCaprio. No,
I don't know. Hey, on the real though.
Well, that
it bulked him up a little bit because he is a little on the scrawny side though. Because you got to be bulked up if you're gonna look like Vince.
That's true. Nah, so you need someone a little bit bigger. You need someone a little bit bigger and a little slightly taller than him.
The only one I know that had the same hair and a similar build as Arnold Schwarzenegger, but the accent wouldn't have worked.
No, I would say Henry Cavill, Superman.
Okay. I like that.
Superman can play Vince McMahon.
I love Henry Cavill.
I don't know why this was in my head, because he played Thor, Chris Hemsworth, because literally he was stuck in my head.
Well, what's funny was he was actually supposed to play Hogan.
He was supposed to play Hogan, yes.
He was supposed to play
Hogan, and they stopped production because
of
his what does he have? He has something. I forgot what he has.
Because he said the N-word too many
times. No, I'm not talking about Hogan. I'm talking about Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, I was like, well, that's what we know. That's why they canceled that. Like, Hogan,
that's why they canceled it. Yeah,
John Hamm. Yes, John Hamm would be.
That's
good
the homie
too.
from Mad Men, right?
Mad Men, yeah,
like that.
John Hamm would be really good. I can see that.
Those are some good ideas for sure.
Yeah. Ooh, right. John Hamm is just
that would hit. For some reason, that would hit. I feel like that would hit. I feel like you would get the strut down pat too.
That's it right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh, and then just
That's
start like. Yeah. So here's my question though: where would you start him off in season 1?
For Vince, like as far as like Vince, like talking about Vince.
So I put it like this: we'll bounce around in his past through like the episode, but there's a current point in time where the first season where something is happening. So where are we starting Vince off? Are we starting off this time where he's about to come up with WrestleMania, or are we start when he just bought the business from his dad? Like, where are we first starting?
I feel like we would see. I feel like I would want to see something a little more recent, like a recent WrestleMania, maybe his last WrestleMania that he was at when he faced Austin, because that was just before things started getting touchy with the allegations and things like that. Like, pretty much on the cusp of there. And then rewind back to being the young boy growing up with his dad in the trailer park, blah, blah, blah. Or you know what, Dion, that's a good idea too. Or even when he bought the business.
I would like that one. And you start there and you see him go through the territories and the problems he started going. Man,
Yo,
This
that
is
man,
ridiculous.
I thought I liked stirring the pot. That motherfucker was doing that long before I was alive. With
that
all
man
the
came. That man came and kicked the pot off they stove. That man said, "Fuck what you cooking. Get the fuck out the kitchen. This is my shit now."
and then when he said what his dad said, he's like, you know what? Fuck him. You're beating them all. Fuck them. I'm proud of
Fuck
you.
him. Yo,
But that's how it is. That's how it is in competition in business. Not for nothing. You gotta grab your competition by the throat, and you gotta squeeze the life out of your competition, just like he did to WCW. I get goosebumps when I hear that. Like I get goosebumps when I hear those moments because I remember watching that shit live, and they get into all that too.
Yeah, I remember that episode. I was like, "Wow, they won."
It was such a great quote. Between that or the intro when he was like, "I own WCW," like you know,
I own
like
WCW.
It wasn't
and my competitor. I was like, "This
like,
dude, this is."
It wasn't long before Vince McMahon bought my competition. I'm just like, I just remember that going on, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is WCW. Am I on the right fucking channel?
Yeah.
I remember we were flipping back and forth just to see it. Like, yo, this dude
That
is on
CH
channel.
button, the CH
Yep.
button.
I was like, this man is on. He's on channel 25 and he's on channel 41 right now. What is going on?
Damn time. He said 2 bad ones at the same damn time.
I was flipping through both of them. They was like, "Boy, stay on what channel?" I said, "You don't get it.
You don't understand what's happening right now.
I'm watching this man on someone else's network right now. Yo, 2 networks are sharing the same feed right now. Like, what are you talking about?
Nobody has ever done anything like that.
No.
TNT and USA are showing the same thing at the same time.
Crazy.
And we'll get into that because there is an episode about, of course, that moment. Of course, you can't talk about Mr. McMahon without talking about that moment. But let's proceed.
I got 12:38 left.
12:40. We're pretty much around the same.
12.
2, 3. But yeah, he was thinking about a plan for WrestleMania when he was on vacation. Dude, then you weren't on vacation.
Nope.
You will see the greatest production of wrestling in the world. And boy, he was not freaking lying. He said, we're going to make it just like the Super Bowl. And what do we always say here? WrestleMania is our Super Bowl.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. The first WrestleMania.
Closed circuit television, aka house shows back in the day.
Yeah.
Just to go see a damn projector on a damn screen.
Damn.
Jesse, I don't know who told you to put that mask on, but you should have never done it. That should look so stupid. Saturday Night Live, like not for nothing, with as commercialized as Hogan was, Dusty would have been good doing stuff like this, but without, I don't know if it probably would have turned out as big as Hogan, but without these kinds of moments, you wouldn't have guys like The Rock at all. Oh shit. I remember where we are right now.
Oh dear God. Oh, this clip.
Like, look at the back in the day where it was easy to just walk around with a celebrity and nobody fucking mess with you. Like, or you didn't have to worry about anybody hurting you or trying to jump on you for an autograph. Huh. You never use the F word.
Don't know.
Whoa!
Tony Atlas, you are a national treasure. We need to protect him at all costs.
Yo,
Go ahead,
that's
pause. Speak. Ooh.
Yo, that's what David Schultz slapped him at WrestleMania.
And yeah. I need to rewind just a second because that slap was too hard, dude. He slapped the fucking daylights out of him.
Hold up, I'm right.
He said, I wish someone would take care of that guy without telling someone to take care of that guy. Vince,
I just wish somebody would take care of that guy. All right, y'all, let's have a good show. And just walk off like,
yep.
Did you really just tell them that?
Like, that's a slap heard around the world. Never, ever use that word.
Oh,
that's the perks of working in media 101. Don't do that.
Oh.
Like, bro, he smacked the shit out of you. He smacked the shit out of you on your own show, on live television.
Mm-hmm.
People was buying him drinks and shit.
Why would, here's my thing though. Why would you get back up? Why would you get back up?
Why?
Like, why?
To try to run away.
There's plenty that you could have done to signal, like, yo, I'm like, get me away from this person. Like, help. I don't like what's going on. Why would you get back up and stand there for him to slap you twice? Like, as if the first one brought you down. First of all, as a man, that if you get slapped and brought down as a man, like, you done.
I can't help but wonder, and you know what, this is probably wrong of me to do, but listen, one would question somebody who just got slapped the living daylights out. Like if you just got the shit slapped out of you, and then you go on a Barbara Walters talk show and you're like, yeah, I have permanent ear damage. After she asked you the question, if you have permanent ear damage, wouldn't you not be able to answer her question because you couldn't hear it correctly? Just saying. I'm just being a pot stirrer. I'm just being a pot stirrer. Let me do it. Allow me. This is late night WWT. I don't care what you think.
I just think he over exaggerated because there was no way he was going to get ear damage from that slap. It just over exaggerated.
Oh yeah. Him just say, oh my gosh, I'm so hurt. I'm so fragile. And it's like, why did you get back up though?
Like, you have the nerve to freaking ask the question. You better be prepared for the kind of response you get.
But again, you
saw what Vader did.
You fell to a slap. Like, bro, you should, go further down that hall and get away from him. Like, at this point, you already embarrassed. You got back up to take another slap. So now you and Tim, now you just like, oh yeah, what you want to do? It's like, oh, okay, you took the first one. Oh, you want another one. And then you want to go, oh, I got permanent ear damage. Why would you stand there? It take one slap. Like, look, like if you got slapped by somebody you know you can't fight, are you finna get back up and look them right in the eye?
Bro.
That man put the paws on that.
Bro, did you see how he had his neck? I need to rewind that for a second.
I need to rewind that slap.
For what he did to Richard Belzer. Like, look at how he
like
had
his fight.
Oh wait, hold on.
Like, yo, why would you get, like, you got up and you had time to walk away. You got up, held your face, and looked at him like, did you really just slap me? Like, you really finna fight this dude.
Yo, he flopped.
And you see the second time he got hit, how he walked off? Why would you not do that the first time? If you got permanent ear damage, you would not have it had you not got up to look this man in his eye after he slapped the shit out of you. I'm just saying, Richard Belzer, you decide you wanted to expose some stuff, and that's what happened.
That's sensitive, man.
That's
tough.
Shut up, Cantonese dude.
I'm just gonna say this, and I'm not cynical about it. Some people are not.
I can't.
Oh.
Yo, the fact that they mortgaged everything to make WrestleMania 1 happen, like they could have lost everything if it failed. Everything.
That's
Their
why this gotta
livelihood.
be a show. That's why this gotta be a show. And then that's how you move to season 2 of it. You get ready for WrestleMania.
The very
Like
first.
right there on the boat, you'd be like, yo, I want to do something I've never done, WrestleMania. And that's the season finale of the first season. And the second season is getting ready for WrestleMania 1.
Yeah. 1985 in Madison Square Garden.
Oh, wait, are we playing? Are we
Wait,
playing?
hold on.
Oh, pause.
I paused.
Well, we've been paused. Wait, where you at?
Oh my God. I pressed play. Sorry.
I'm at 940. Where
Wait,
are you at?
where are you?
940 left.
Now I'm at 9.
I think I have like 9 as well. I'm on the other segment.
Like 9, like 900?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 909. I got 901.
Okay, hold on.
We've been paused.
Hell, like we've been paused. Wait a minute.
I didn't know we was paused. My bad, man. My bad. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me or tonight, but my
You
bad.
must be sleeping under a rock or something.
My bad, y'all. My bad.
All right, I'm at 902 talking about how does it feel physically?
Yeah, I have permanent ear damage. My doctor says I have permanent ear damage on my ear, even though I just answered your question very easily. I'm just saying, y'all.
All right, we ready to play? Nah, I agree with you. All right, going in 3, 2, 1.
Geraldo Rivera wannabe. Barbara Walters, my God. Yo, the way he hooked it. This guy hit his head on the back of the... Yo, watch when he gets up. Look at the pool of blood on the floor of this moment.
Yo, that dude. That's the dude from Law and Order.
Oh, that is him, right? I knew that. The captain.
Yep.
And he's still in that motherfucker. Oh wait, did he pass away? He didn't pass away.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he did.
No, he did.
Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at the pool of blood when he gets up.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh, look at all that blood. Look at that. Down the back of his jacket.
Back of his neck.
He was definitely concussed.
Oh my goodness.
Damn.
You could see the moment though, because he felt when he put him in it, he stiffened up and then he tried to hold him, and then his hands just slowly, like he knocked him out.
Yeah, no.
Hogan knocked him out.
He went to sleep for real.
Those are 24-inch fucking pythons. And Dion said, but he asked to be put in the headlock. That's a different story. But he still sued. That's crazy, yo. And got away with it.
Well, it's also too, if you think about it, I'm trusting in you to do this.
Yes.
So even to that point on Hulk should have checked that.
Because not for nothing, and even Triple H has said this many times, the number one rule in professional wrestling is always take care of your opponent.
Exactly. And he didn't do that. Him letting him go and dropping him, he shouldn't have done that. You should have checked to see if it's like, okay,
I don't even think he probably knew. Like,
yeah, but even too, it should have been like, okay, like holding him to check him, like, hey, you good? Mm-hmm. Like, let him look up at you before letting him go. If you notice that, then that means you know he's out.
Yeah. Okay, now we're at WrestleMania.
Look at Cowboy Bob. This was such a good match.
This will let me know Orton would have been chaotic. Yo, you know what I think about though? If this happened and it was Dusty, would Cody even ever be born?
That's crazy. The silence is deafening. That's crazy.
Would the nightmare even exist?
Maybe he would, but he would never have become the American Nightmare.
Or if he'd have had him. Because you got to think about it, around this time, Dusty had a time to be able to do that. And them two sets of kids are a big split.
That's true. That's so crazy. And then after WrestleMania hit, everybody flocked to Vince. It was like, I want to do that. I want to be that. I want to be in this.
I don't give a fuck about the industry. I
thought it was
good for me,
bro.
He was like, I knew it was good for me.
Yep, that's it.
Fuck everybody else.
That's a good one right there. Cody would be nothing but a daydream.
Yep. I like what you did there, sir.
Yes, me too. Yeah. Switching it from people drinking and wanting to fight to kids being in the front row and selling merch. Big transition. Yep. With great success comes a lot more than that. Bad publicity.
Like, man, I just had WrestleMania though.
And then you have to deal with this. The sea of bad publicity.
Steroid scandal. In 1987, John Stossel settled his lawsuit against David Schultz and Titan Sports, aka WWE. And in 1990, Richard Belzer settled his lawsuit against Vince McMahon, Hogan, and Titan Sports, WWE. And that is episode 1, my friends.
Yo. Wow.
We're getting into some nitty-gritty things here. And a lot of it, some of this stuff is common knowledge. Like, we have known a lot of these things already, but the way they rolled it out is a little different. And then the fact that you have everybody. Sorry.
What happened?
I got a text from my. I got a text. I'll say it off the air because I can't say that on here. I will not. I'm a classy lady. But Councilman, that is the end of episode 1. You are caught up on the first episode of Mr. McMahon. What did you think? What are some of your takeaways from it? I know me and Courtney are way ahead, but we were more than happy to join you for this watch along to witness your reaction.
I appreciate that. This says a lot about Vince. One thing I've noticed about this, just dissecting a lot of stuff, is you could tell how Vince did not know how to accept joy or accomplishment. And I think where it started off with being told finally by his dad that you love him and he's proud of you, and then he dies. And now you're starting to see even more of the correlation. Like, you bet it all, you had WrestleMania, and then boom, steroid hit where they drag you through the mud. And so it's just like every time it looks like he wins, this big loss comes. And so I could see how that will start to develop as to where you don't want to necessarily find joy because you don't want to strip from you. But what I can also really tell is I don't think, like as I said, the reason why you don't know who Vince McMahon is because, in the way to say this, the person Vince McMahon doesn't exist. So whoever he was, so whoever he was before he met his father, that's the person we're never gonna know. So we don't know what his name was before he was McMahon.
Well, what's crazy, but then this comes out in the other episodes. What's crazy is that before he met his dad, he was with his mom and his stepfather, and he was suffering the abuse from them.
And so, if you think about it, there too, something.
No, go ahead.
Something that Professor had was comparing it to is when like rappers saying like the artist is making this lyrics and not the person. There's another side to that too, and so where I get to the comparison, not comparing both of these people, but in the trauma they've experienced, how this got created. Nicki Minaj, for example, her and Onika are two different people, and I would even say I've had the pleasure to meet Onika than meet Nicki. And this was before when she had just started doing that Barbie freestyle she did over Soulja Boy's beat, when she was starting to get like that in clubbing, like performing at car shows.
Itty bitty piggy days.
Yeah, the itty bitty piggy days. But she even says in interviews and like even just kind of having a conversation with her, she don't like being in high heels. She don't like being in tight outfits like that. Like if she could, again, she's from New York. So it's a certain thing she wouldn't mind wearing, but that's what the character did. And she said she would normally use that character as an escape from what was going on in her home life.
Right.
So now you already got somebody like Vince, who's I'm sure detaching somehow to be able to cope with that stuff. And so then now you meet your father and all you want is your father's approval. So that child didn't grow up now, because if you really look at it, he acts like his father. Even while he was there in the company, you see this is just Vince Sr. and his son. His son is being you. He's portraying you. And the charm, everything. He's taken everything that he's learned from you, already whatever is in him, and he's made you into a character that he's playing.
Yeah.
And that character continued to grow.
Yep. And Javon, thanks for joining us, buddy. Good to see you. Thanks for trooping it out with us. He was watching the watch along on SmackDown with us. But he literally says, Vince, referring to Vince, literally says in the document he doesn't want anyone to know the real him. I mean, I think personally and it's unfortunate because this does happen to people. And this is a lot of the things that they don't really talk about or they don't want you to talk about. But mental health is a real thing, and it might not have been a big deal back then because it was a different time and you had to like suck it up and eat it or go cry on your own and cry it off for 1 second and then move on quickly to the next thing. But Vince, I feel like whatever childhood or innocence or youth that he had left died with him with the abuse, because that does cripple you. And it makes you, like, I want to be very careful when I say this. It either makes you or breaks you.
You adapt to it. You adapt to what you think is that. So just imagine, like, even what he said to Vince, you and Professor said it, you were used to conditional love. So you only know what you know. Right. And if that's the only way you've ever known how to receive love, anything else that come to you is going to be foreign to you.
Right. And you're not going to know how to deal with it. When it gets to the Shane parts and stuff, I cried. I definitely got a little emotional. I got really emotional.
And then too, even from like the mental health side, I think even too, I don't think anyone at that time, it wasn't just a thing of like, shut up and suck it up. It was one of the things, I don't think no one ever took the time to break down what it means to never break character. Like imagine having to be the Iron Sheik all the time.
That would be exhausting.
It would be tiring.
And so now we look at someone like Ric Flair. Well, Ric Flair had to walk into that character and never wants to step out of it. The fear of going back out and being Richard Flair terrifies him
because of everything that he went through in his upbringing.
So it's like, why go back and I can just continue to play this character? But then we don't see the ramifications of when you have to interact with others, and it's like, yo, I'm not talking to Ric Flair, but that's who you married. No, I married Richard Flair, but they one and the same. And it's like, no, that's a character. And it's like, but that's me. And then you catch those pivotal moments where it's like, yo, you don't know the difference. You lost the line that kept you here and kept the character here, and now it's one thing. And so you don't know where Richard Flair begins and where Ric Flair ends.
Mm-hmm. And Vince McMahon has done such a crazy job at, keeping his job that he forgot, like maybe not forgot, but he just didn't necessarily know how to be empathetic or apologetic or accountable or more just more thoughtful for having consideration of other people's feelings and how you say things, because sometimes it ain't what you say, it's how you say it as well.
But to that point though, let's look at it when you're in a constant perpetual state of war, like we're now seeing that it is with him. What else do you become? Because think about it, like imagine, like we can only imagine this. Imagine going, because both of y'all stay in the East Coast, right?
Yep.
Imagine going to Mississippi in the 80s and y'all are invading their territory to put on your promotion. And just imagine now, not only as women of color, but women, and these promoters coming to you.
Women in wrestling? That's not allowed.
But not only that, I'm going to put y'all in the fucking river if you come back here.
Yeah.
Like you're facing that. Like you're getting phone calls like that. Like, yo, you step foot in this territory, we are going to burn your house down. Do not try us. And Vince still going, fuck that. I'm doing this shit.
Yeah.
Because I know what the outcome is. You can't be empathetic then. You can't sympathize. You have to show strength. At least in his eyes, that's how he saw it. Because again, you're being lashed at. You're being confronted. But now in that same aspect, who's to not say when those things are being told to him, he's thinking of his stepfather. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. I couldn't kick his ass. I could kick your ass in this way with my business. So now I'm getting my lick back from the shit I never dealt with. And I also have a driving ambition to make my father proud. And so I say that, and again, I'm saying this not for him to not take accountability or to make him seem like he should be the victim, because I'm showing you how the beginning structure is based onto how the monster is going to be built. So you have to understand how the base is built in order to understand why the houses are going to be built as we continue to watch this.
Yeah, it gets pretty crazier, but even in Vince's big thing in business, and it seemed like even in real life, don't sell. Don't break that character. Never let them see you sweat.
And nobody, and again, no one, and I think too, like no one studied that. No one studied of how do you prepare these cats for that have to do it 24/7. Like we see now the steps that like actors go through and stuff. Like even just like watching the Penguin stuff. Like Colin Farrell literally said he had to watch Pixar movies like Toy Story, all kind of happy movies while he was filming Penguin, so he didn't fall into that dark loop of the story, because he had to really get into the psychological mind point of what the Penguin was. And so again, even just how intense 3 months of doing that and could potentially lose yourself.
Yeah.
Same thing with Jamie Foxx playing Ray, like the transition from like trying to come out with your eyesight to see regularly again.
And now, then I'll take you another one even further, since you mentioned the Penguin reference. Joker, Heath Ledger. Yeah. The biggest case of that.
secluded himself in a room by himself for almost like 18 hours a day to prepare for this character with notebooks and all kind of like video references on how to learn this stuff, and isolated himself from the world except for when he was filming. Now take that intensity lasts 3 to 8 months, and how long it takes them to kind of bounce back, go to therapy, try to make sure that they're okay. Even in the lower case of people learning how to change their dialect. Like you're in a British film like Bridgerton, and then you got to try to remember how to speak English. Like your real, like imagine trying to go back to your New York accent, and you've been saying cheerio all along for the last 4 or 6 years, and you can't stop talking like that.
Yeah, or a perfect example of that is as far as like the voices go, that I always really liked and noticed, Andrew Lincoln when he played Rick Grimes in Walking Dead. Yep. I didn't know when I saw him on Talking Dead that he had a fucking British accent. I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
And then now when you hear that man talk, he talks like Rick. His voice is fully Rick accent. It's crazy. Yep. Like, same thing with Idris. It's just part of what comes with the turf. But I said that main part though.
Mm-hmm. But I say that to say it takes them, that's 3 to 6 months. Now imagine doing that 346 days out of the year, 24/7. And no one sits here to ask like, hey, how are you
feeling
as a person doing it? Yeah, there was no counseling for them.
Like I'm not talking to Mr. McMahon. I'm talking to you, Vince. Are you okay?
No. Like even Flair, Richard Flair, how is he doing?
Mm-hmm.
How is he dealing with this? Joe, how are you feeling after WrestleMania and losing to Cody Rhodes? Like, where are you now? Do you, Joe, feel relieved? How are things in the home life doing? How is that transitioning? I don't want to talk to the character. I want to talk to the person. They never had none of that. And the only people you got for that is your family who going to try to understand. They're going to try to make sure they can be there. But
no matter what, they'll never get the full
and it makes sense why Ric Flair has so many wives.
Yeah.
That's a hill to climb.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney, any takeaways or any other things you want to pinpoint before we get out of here after our Mr. McMahon watch along?
I think you guys just hit the nail on the head, because I mentioned this a little earlier during our live, but there was a lack of empathy and a lack of compassion even when he grew up as a child. Not to take things any away, and don't want to make him the victim, but some of the experience that he had kind of did lead him when he was an adult. When he met his actual dad, he felt like there was no unconditional love between them. Even though he tried to do it a step further, there was just no sense of compassion. And even the night before he died, the one time he was very compassionate, he said, I'm proud of him. Then he passed away.
He told him he loved him. He never told, he said up until that point, his father never told him he loved him. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have my dad to tell me he didn't love me. I'd lose my mind. I'd lose my mind. That would fuck with me. And
also the territorial ones, he just threw them under the bus. I'm like, you're just getting guys left and right from other territories. And I'm just like, at first I'm not surprised by it, but it was like, okay. Right. It's about the money. It's pretty much Tony Allen.
Always been. In business, it's always been. But
not just that, like a future. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like during that time, you were only as big as where you were gonna be at. You could be big, the biggest Texas star, but that was it. Like Vince is like letting you know, like, yo, I'm talking about putting you to where everybody in the country know you. Like I'm selling you a future and you get more money. And we seen just imagine the people that we will never know who were the Stone Cold Steve Austin of Smoky Mountain Wrestling. we're never going to know those people.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you were there at Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And it's like, oh yeah, I used to go see, Stone Cold Jack Jackson back in the 70s, man. And he was just like a sight to see. And it's like, yo, that's where your legacy stops. Because in Texas, they don't know that person.
Right.
And I'm offering you to be a part and to become immortal
and global.
So
where the world is going to know you.
Yep.
And that's not, that's not an easy deal to turn down. Honestly, it wouldn't be an easy deal to turn down for anybody. But on a lighter note, I will say, aside from all the seriousness of this documentary, one of the most entertaining things about this documentary is Tony fucking Atlas.
Where's your shirt, bro?
Tony fucking Atlas. You are a gem and you must be protected at all costs. And thank you for putting that bug in my ear all those years ago when I was a little girl, because little did I know I'd be doing this right now. So it's kind of crazy how that coincides and goes together. But Tony Atlas is a gem throughout these interviews. There's things that he says is pretty funny and like, well, not really funny, but it's just how he says it.
Yeah, like I caught that with Dark Side of the Ring. I was like, yo, this is fucked up what happened to Bruiser Brody, but I'm like, Tony,
yo, oh my god, that Bruiser Brody one fucked my head up.
I can't watch that. I can't watch that at night. Like I cannot watch that at night.
I watched that episode once.
That at night. Imagine watching the Chris Benoit one at night. That's what I did. All three.
I didn't watch that episode.
And you know what? I'll never go back to those episodes again. Like, no offense, it's a great documentary. I love Dark Side of the Ring, but whoo, child.
I didn't watch that episode. I actually watched Brian Pillman's episode.
I watched that one too. Yeah. I watched that one too.
It was
Doinks that's a sad episode. I was like,
Doinks was sad. What's his name? Dynamite Kid.
Oh yeah, the Dynamite Kid. That was crazy.
Yeah. Every single episode makes me cry. The only one I really didn't like that I didn't feel sad for, I was more enraged, was Moolah's. Well, one of them.
And also, I forget the name of one of the promotions that was on Dark Side of the Ring, but that was just crazy.
The white, the little short white guy that used to come in. I think it was like what FCW? No, it wasn't FCW. Yep. You know what it was? It was like he was getting everybody, but he like literally drove his company into the ground. This man was like doing cocaine all the time and then literally became a part of the show and stuff like that. He made himself champion. I think it was like GCCW, something like that.
I gotta figure that one out.
Yeah, no, you gotta watch that one. That one is crazy.
I didn't see any of the recent ones that came out this year either, so I got some watching to do.
Yeah, Junkyard Dog is on this new one.
Bash at the Beach, WCW.
Bash at the Beach in 1997.
Oh,
the infamous Hulk Hogan pin.
Oh, wait, are we talking about the finger poke of death?
Is that the one? The one with him and Jeff Jarrett?
Oh, no. That's Kevin Nash. That was him and Kevin Nash. So Jeff Jarrett. Oh, okay, that one. Okay.
They talk about that one. And when I tell you, it was like, yo, you see right there of like, this is why y'all didn't make it. This is why y'all did not make it at all because of this. And then FMW, like Onita, Blood and Wire. Y'all gotta watch that one. That dude is wild.
There's some of those things that I couldn't watch, like the one with the death match and the Japanese.
That's the one.
Just passed away. I don't know if I could watch that. The death matches, they get me a little too much. Like, I'm good.
What is it? Oh, Herb Abrams, season 2, Cocaine and Cowboy Boots. Cocaine and Cowboy Boots. That's the one, honey. If you have not watched that one, it's season 2.
Cowboy Boots.
Cocaine and Cowboy Boots. When I tell you, Herb Abrams, wow.
That was really nuts.
Wild.
I'm gonna have to check it out then. You guys are twisting my arm.
Yes, that man said his assistant walked in one night. He said this dude was running around butt naked with cowboy boots on and had a whole table and a pile of cocaine sitting on top of it.
Jesus.
He just drove his head in it. And he said, I got an idea that's gonna take over the whole industry.
Dear God.
Oh my God. I can't believe we
man.
were laughing at that. It's Dark Side of the Ring. That's
Yo,
not.
but it's hilarious though.
Oh man. But you know how I'm feeling. You know how I'm feeling after our amazing watch along this evening.
Accompanied to the ring by Dakota Kai and the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warrior.
Feeling like Oscar. I'm feeling like Oscar.
Oscar
What a-
be in her own world, and I love it.
And I'm here for it. Shout outs to Oscar too, by the way. Totally forgot to wish her a happy birthday.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
happy birthday, Oscar.
Mhm.
Hey, I didn't know season 5 was out. Oh shoot, I'm behind.
Season 5 of what?
There's a season 5 of Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh shit. All right. Well,
They
gotta
talking
catch
about-
up on those.
Yep, Sensational Sherry's in this.
Oh
one.
yes, that's right. We did mention that like
Mhm.
earlier this year.
Harley Race's one, Brodus Beefcake. Oh, dang, yeah. Buff in the Bagwells. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah,
That makes sense because of everything.
Buff Bagwell.
Yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said Buff Bagwell was a wild boy. He was wild.
Wild.
A lot of them boys are wild. You could already tell. Like you could automatically tell like off the screen. But
Yeah.
that was a successful first episode of Mr. McMahon documentary watch along. And yeah, man. That was a fun night. It's been a long day, guys. It's been a really long day. But you know what? We made it. We're at the home stretch. There's only one thing left to do. Gotta tell the good people how they can find us. Courtney.
Yes, my friends, you can find me almost everywhere, but you can find me, I know, everywhere. Instagram and Twitter on @CourtneyNJ11. I have so much content that is happening in the works. Stay tuned because there's a lot of things happening in the coming months. Also, you can catch me here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on WWT Live, along with doing my weekly Wednesday Lobster Long. Next Wednesday, it's a special one, 5 years of Dynamite. So it's going to be a fun one from Pittsburgh.
Yes, absolutely. Councilman, let them know.
Yeah, you can find me at Will Pharaoh, PHARAOH. No crazy tags tonight. This Vince documentary was very eye opening.
There's gonna be so much more that you're gonna be like,
yeah, we laid the foundation. I'm letting you know now, though. I'm finna watch this next episode. I'm just.
I feel you, right? I feel you. I get it.
I'm not waiting till the live tomorrow. I'm like, I might.
That's
blow
what
them
I.
off.
That's why yesterday and
Yep.
today I was like, man, fuck that. I gotta watch this shit, man. Because otherwise you're gonna see clips online and everybody's gonna fucking spoil it. You can't because you can't have nice things anymore. You know.
Yeah, we couldn't stop right there, and I'm just like, I gotta wait till tomorrow to watch. No, I'm finna watch this now.
Yeah, and by the way, we have to let the boss lady know what time we plan on watching this tomorrow. Or maybe she could let us know, one or the other.
Yeah, because here's my thing: you're now gonna be the only one who ain't seen this. We all have. But I promise you, by tomorrow,
we're all gonna be done seeing it by the time
I will have
she
seen all
watches.
of it. Exactly. I'm like, so we all seen it. We all watched it. Like it's done.
Professor definitely watched it, and I don't blame. Said, what did he say? He watched an episode earlier.
No, he said he hadn't. He said he.
Oh
hadn't
no, he
started.
hadn't watched it yet. That's
He
right.
was
That's right.
gonna
Okay.
maybe watch it tonight.
All right. So well, we yawning out here. So let me get right to it. You can find me here with the WWT Live crew Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, especially doing that double duty. Every Friday we have our Honey Night SmackDown watch along. Let's see. I have the Wrestling with Honey podcast will be premiering soon. So make sure you like it, subscribe that YouTube, tell your friends about it. There's going to be a new buzzworthy podcast on YouTube, and I'm excited to get started on that. Please follow my homies here, my WWT siblings, as I call them. Please follow them and support everything that got going on. Tuesday night Pharaoh, Wednesday night Courtney, and I'm here for it. Shout outs to the professor, shout outs to the boss lady for allowing us to do this. Shout outs to everybody in the chat that was joining us. I know it's a late night on the East Coast, but you know what? It was very well worth it. And it's a Friday night, which goes to show you we got no social life. We don't go to the club. We do podcasts. We do podcasts here. But shout outs to Boza, Dion, Javon, David, a lot of new faces I've never seen in here ever before. Pimp Wizard, Deep Barnes, Undisputed Truth. Let's see, David Rosca, T-Hawk. Shout outs to everybody here. Easy Not, good to see you again. I love that I got that right. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, IB Walker, shout outs to you as well. Dad, of course, love you. Cousin Ron, appreciate all your love and support. You guys have a wonderful evening. And that is Courtney. That is the Councilman. I'm your hostess, Wrestling with Honey, and this is the end of our Mr. McMahon documentary, episode 1. Watch along, please stay tuned and look on the socials for Women's Wrestling Talk, all things www.talkpod.com. Check out the merch. Check shout outs to All Caribbean Wrestling for always being amazing sponsors. And stay tuned because we are going to have another watch along for the second episode. We're going to keep this thing rolling and going. And yeah, man, have a great night. Happy Friday. Thank y'all for joining us. It's been a long one. And we out.
Shout out to y'all too.
Yes. Love you guys. Night. Peace out, guys. Take care. See you Monday.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.